This is Stephanie with Hightower Stitching. I'm back with the hand stitching a reduced Crossroads block and making a quilt. This is part 2, starting to construct the quilt. Once I had 48 blocks made, then I came in and I found a flat place. I used the floor and I started laying out the blocks, and you can see the different rows 1, 2, and 3. Then I've already sewn those together. The next 2 rows are waiting to be sewed. And then the last one over here is the one I want to share with you how to pin it before you sew it. Okay, first of all, let me tell you something that I figured out. That when I did some of my 4 squares, my 4 patches, they looked kind of wonky. This one wasn't too bad. And when I laid a 3.5 inch on it, I could see that that was going to be pretty much all right. But then I had another one that when I laid the 3.5 inch on it, it was off. So I said, there's the center. I sort of eyeballed the center on my 3.5. And then I would go ahead and trim that extra off the outside on that. If they're close, I wouldn't worry about it. So here's the row 8 that I was going to do next. I was going to pin. And so I learned to take and number all my rows, and I put the number where the top or the top of the row is. This is the top. And so I'm going to take these two. You remember, these are going to be facing each other, and this is going to make your 16 patch, so you're going to have those two put together. So I'm going to flip it over, and that's actually, when I had it on the floor, that's actually the way I pinned it. Let me just show you that. I would pin right there because that's where I was going to go down that row. I'd open it up, I'd slide the next one over, turn it over, and pin it, because it's amazing what can happen to them if you just stack them up. You can give yourself a headache. So let's go back to the first seam that we're going to do on this row. I've got them right sides together. I'm going to go to the very center first, the center seam. Now these are open, so I'm going to lay them on top of each other. I'm going to do my angle pin. You could have pushed this one that way to the right and this one to the left and then had them interlock, and that would work. The next thing is to come up to your 4 patch, and where those come together, you're going to lay those right on top of each other and pin them. And then go down to the other end and just look at it and eyeball it and get it, set it together. And it's got some flexibility, so you don't have to worry about it. And then you're going to take and you're going to run your stitches, if you're hand stitching, all the way across there and knot off. And then you're going to be ready to go to the next one. But do the center first, pin your squares, and pin your triangles down here. And this is row 3, and I just wanted to show you by pinning those and putting them in place how close they are. Look where these come together, where my points are coming together, and where that point came together. And that was one of my suggestions, was doing the pinning and then stitching them. And then the seam where I put them together, I did open that seam and I pressed it flat. Not ironed it, just did a press on it. You can see the others that I do open, but you can do those turn to one side or the other. So this is the next part. The next time you're here, I should be ready and have put the back on this quilt also. This is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching. That was part 2 of the Kisses and Hugs quilt. If I forgot anything or have anything needs to be remembered, I'll put it in the description. If you are coming along with this and enjoying it, or you have any questions, please subscribe and hit like. Thank you.